Hi, I'm Kathleen Newell, the Director of Youth Programming with the World Affairs Council of Pittsburgh. Thanks for your interest in the Global Travel Scholars Program. If you're not familiar with the World Affairs Council of Pittsburgh, we're a nonprofit with a 90-year-old legacy here in Pittsburgh. We convene and connect people around global issues to build a thriving, competitive, and inclusive Pittsburgh. We offer a variety of programs for youth and adults, and we encourage you to check those out at worldpittsburgh.org. The Global Travel Scholarship is a needs-based scholarship for high school students who have never traveled abroad before and would not be able to do so without the support of a full scholarship. The scholarship covers program fees, including activities, transportation, meals and accommodation, health and accident insurance, and more. It also includes international and domestic flights, any hotel stays that are needed during travel, and covers passport and visa application fees. I'll go over the application process in more detail in this video, but you can find more information in the links to apply at worldpittsburgh.org/global-travel. The Global Travel Scholars Program has been going on for 22 years, and in that time, we've sent 180 students abroad in partnership with the Experiment in International Living. The Council runs the year-long Global Travel Scholars Program. That includes running the application and selection process, supporting selected students in completing their paperwork and applying for any necessary passports or visas, and then also preparing students for travel abroad through 3 pre-departure orientations, and then helping students to reflect and process the transformative impact of travel abroad through a storytelling and group project upon their return. Our partners at the Experiment run all of the in-country programming, including all of the logistics, including the flights to travel abroad. They run the programs on the ground, including training 2 group leaders who stay with students throughout the duration of their trip, and they offer 24-hour on-call support during the program for families. So who's eligible to apply? In order to apply, you have to be a high school student who's currently in grade 10 or grade 11. That means you must be 16 plus as of February 1st, 2026. Current high school seniors are not eligible to apply. In order to apply, you must live in the Pittsburgh area or be an active member of a Global Minds chapter. You cannot have traveled outside of the US or Canada previously, except for in the case of immigration. If you have any questions about your past travels and how that might impact your eligibility, please reach out. You can find my contact information on the website or it's shared at the end of this video. You also must have high financial need in order to apply, and that means you would not be able to travel abroad without the financial support of a full scholarship. Your family's financial information will be requested on Part 1 of the application to assess your eligibility. There's a few things that the scholarship does not cover, and these are incidental expenses, including immunization or medical copays that are required for travel, any cell phone plans, internet charges, laundry, gifts, souvenirs, or snacks. It also doesn't include travel from your house to the Pittsburgh International Airport or back upon your return. We estimate that these costs will be around $200 to $600 per student. We do provide a $200 stipend for students who are selected for the scholarship in order to offset some of these incidental expenses. And during the pre-departure orientations, we'll discuss some ways that you can fundraise for any additional funds that you might need. There is an option of 11 programs that take place in 9 different countries, each with a different thematic focus. Each program has a 4-part structure that includes an orientation, a homestay, a thematic focus, and a reflection. Most programs take place during the month of July. Each program has a group structure, which includes a small group of students and 2 adult group leaders who travel with the students for the duration of their trips. Students who are selected must commit to participating in the full program, and the dates are fixed. You can explore all of the programs and the dates on the Experiment website. To apply, you must complete a 2-part application that is due on January 6th. This includes the Global Travel Scholars application form and the application for admission that is submitted through the experiment portal. For students who are invited to the interviews, those will be held virtually on January 31st. We will announce scholars in early February, and a small number of alternates will also be selected. The council will pay for these students to apply for their passports as well, and should any of the scholars be unable to travel abroad, an alternate would be put in their place. So part one of the application process is the Global Travel Scholars application process. This is a Google form that you can access through our website. Again, that's worldpittsburgh.org/global-travel. This application is due on Tuesday, January 6th. This application assesses your eligibility for the Global Travel Scholars Program, and that includes your family's financial information. So please, when you're applying, students should complete all questions outside of questions 20 through 22, which need to be completed with a parent or guardian. The questions on this form help us to understand your commitment to meeting all program expectations. We ask that you please answer all questions in your own words. Part two of the application is the application for admission. Again, this is done through the experiment website, www.experiment.org/apply. This application is also due on Tuesday, January 6th. Please don't wait until the last minute to apply, and make sure that you submit your recommender information on the form ASAP. This allows us to reach out to a recommender who can submit a recommendation on your behalf. Please keep in mind that the due date for the full application, including those recommendations, is January 6th. So you don't want to submit that information at the last minute. On this application, you'll provide personal information, contact information. This is where you'll tell us which programs you're most interested in. You'll also complete some essays, your letter of reference, a financial aid form, and a homestay letter. So on this form, you'll be asked to select programs. You can view all of the program offerings at experiment.org/abroad-destinations. There you'll see the program destinations, the travel dates, any prerequisites, a sample itinerary for the programs, and group leader intros. On the application, you'll be asked to pick the programs that are connected that you are most interested in. And we encourage you to pick those that are most connected to your interests, talents, or future goals. It's encouraged that you independently research the countries that you're interested in. And please keep in mind that the choices that you list are your preferences, but are not your final selection. During the application and interview process, we'll ask students to tell us why they're interested in the programs they choose, and ultimately, in making any offers for a scholarship, we will match students with the best program. We often try not to match more than one student to a program in a given year, so students might end up getting their second or third option depending on how the matching process goes. In your essays, please be compelling. This is your opportunity to share why you're interested in this opportunity, how it aligns with your future goals, and how it would be transformative to you. Please write your essays, and I would encourage you to have someone else read them before you submit them. Make sure to answer in complete sentences. Write in your own words. This is one of your few opportunities to showcase who you really are. Be descriptive and tell your story. And please proofread your answers before you submit them so that they are clear and concise. If you are selected as a Global Travel Scholars, we expect you to be mature and reliable. This is a leadership program, and we expect students to demonstrate that they're ready to travel and live abroad independently. This includes communicating in a timely manner. Keep in mind that the council team is going to be here to support the selected scholars and their families along the way. But there's a lot of paperwork and there's a lot of planning that has to happen in advance. And so we expect scholars to be responsive and communicative in that process, and also in communicating about any barriers or challenges that they might be facing. We often will communicate via email and the application group me. On the screen, it says remind, but that's an error. We've now updated our application to group me. And so we ask that students and families please be responsive to any emails within 48 hours, if not sooner. We also expect global travel scholars to be ambassadors of the council, and that means helping us to spread the word about different programs and opportunities and supporting future scholars as mentors in the process. Additionally, students and families are expected to attend all meetings associated with the Global Travel Scholars Program, including those 3 pre-departure orientations. Please keep in mind that the Global Travel Scholars Program is a year-long commitment with wraparound pre- and post-travel commitments. So, if you're selected as a Global Travel Scholar, within 2 days of selection, the council will ask that you submit 2 forms. One is a scholarship acceptance form, and one is a liability and media release. Once the council has received those 2 forms from you, we will confirm your scholarship acceptance, and then we will help you to apply for a passport. Passport applications will be due by February 17th. Within 2 weeks of acceptance to the program by the experiment, you must also complete some other pre-program documents, including a conditions of participation and a health form and acknowledgement of risk form. By March 15th, you have to complete the final health form. And then starting in March through June, the council will offer and schedule with you 3 pre-departure orientations. And then either in May or early June, the experiment team will host 1 additional pre-departure orientation with you that is specific to the country program that you are matched with. The council's 3 pre-departure orientations have 3 specific focuses to help to prepare you and your families for their the travel abroad. That includes cultural humility, travel logistics, identity, privilege, and self-care while abroad. And then, of course, that 4th pre-departure orientation hosted by the experiment that is specific to the program that you are traveling in. A parent or guardian is required to attend workshop 2 on travel logistics, and they are encouraged to participate in the other workshops as well if they're available. Following travel, global travel scholars are required to participate in a group project through the council and also to tell their story as part of the Welcome Home celebration in the fall. This includes some planning and rehearsals that take place in advance. You can view the stories from this past fall on our YouTube channel and our website to get a sense of what that event looks like. It's a really good time and a great opportunity to celebrate our scholars and all that they've accomplished. We also ask that our scholars serve as ambassadors of the council, including being mentors for future scholars and sometimes helping us with the next round of pre-departure orientations, meeting with funders, etc. All students are required to provide testimonials, reviews, and essays for the Global Travel Scholars Program and the experiment. And this is just in order to help the programs to continue and to grow and improve. So I'm going to turn it over to my colleague at the experiment, Angie, who's going to tell you more about the experiment's program structure and how they support students during their time abroad. But should you have any questions for me, you can reach out to me at Kathleen@worldpittsburgh.org. Also included Angie's information here. And you can also check your email for a link to schedule open office hour meetings with me if you'd like to meet to learn more or if you have any specific questions. I look forward to hearing from you and I hope you'll apply. Thanks so much. Take good care. Angie, over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Angie Afriyie. I am the Partnership and Alumni Engagement Officer at the Experiment, and I wanted to talk to you today about our experiment program. So I'll share a little bit about our history, the program offerings, and the application process as well. So, a little bit about our history. The first experiment program started in 1932. So, it started with our founder, Donald Waugh, who sailed across the Atlantic for 8 days with his students. And the whole purpose of this was to foster international peace and understanding, which he then called the experiment. So, I'm not sure if many of you are familiar, but a fun fact about the experiment is that the Peace Corps founder, who was Director Sargent Shriver, was an early experimenter as well. And we also have longstanding global partners that we work with at the experiment. So the experiment is, an opportunity for students to fully immerse themselves in programming, meeting different students, meeting different people across the globe, and just learning from them, as well as sharing, about themselves and their life over in the US as well. So this is the World Learning Family. So as I mentioned, we have the experiment, which is the founding program, and then we also have the School for International Training, and then World Learning as well. So we have SIT Graduate Institute, which offers internationally focused master's degrees, certificates, and professional development programs. And then we also have SIT Abroad, which offers undergraduate study abroad programs. So similar to the experiment, but just at the undergraduate level. And then World Learning as a whole oversees programs that brings, global leaders to the US every year on international, professional, academic, and youth exchange programs as well. So for example, let's say you do an experiment program, you absolutely love it, and you are, in college and you want to do, a program again, you can definitely do that with World Learning through our School for International Training. So this is a broad overview of the countries that we are traveling to for next summer. So as you can see, we have a couple programs in Europe, the Americas, Africa, and Asia, and the Pacific. So for Europe, we have a program in France, Germany, Italy, and Spain. And then for the Americas, we have a program in Costa Rica and Ecuador. In Africa, we have a program in Ghana. And then for Asia and the Pacific, we have a program in Japan and South Korea. So we have 11 programs spanning across 9 different countries. If you take a look at the Ghana program, it has 2 asterisks next to it. This is because this program offers college credit. It's a college credit / internship program. Students will be given college credits to go towards, their undergraduate study. So this is more information about the programs that we are offering. So all of our programs are broken down into thematic focuses. So it's broken down into several different themes. So what is it that you are interested in studying? What do you want to learn about? What piques your interest, hobbies, etc. So if you haven't visited our website yet, definitely, highly encourage that you do so. So you can take a look at, the different thematic focuses and also read about the program descriptions on our website as well. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there are sample itineraries. So you can kind of take a look at what you will be doing, on a week-to-week basis on each individual program that you might be interested in. So as I mentioned, all the programs are broken down into thematic focuses. So we have Peace, Politics, and Human Rights, which is our Germany and South Korea program. We have language training programs, so Spain and Japan. And then we also have Culture, Discovery, and the Arts, which is Spain, France, Japan, Ghana, and Italy. And then we have programs that focus on sustainability and the environment, which is Ecuador and Costa Rica. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, the Ghana program offers 3 college credits. So that's a great opportunity, to get a leg up, in your college education if that's something that you will be pursuing. I also definitely, again, recommend visiting the website because it just has a ton of information in terms of like program dates, etc. All of our programs take place in the month of July, with some ending early August, like our South Korea program, for example. So it is, a great way to just kind of see also when the programs will take place, what the dates are, so you can plan accordingly, if there's other obligations that you have as well. And again, of course, just to read about the program descriptions, look at the sample itinerary. We also have links on our website for videos that students, have recorded talking about their experiences as well. So you can take a look at what some of those experiences have been for some of our other experimenters. So I wanted to talk a bit about our program model or the learning journey. So the program model focuses on experiential learning and collective learning. So it is collective, immersive, experiential, and supportive. So each of our groups, has about 10 to 16 students per group. So that will vary depending on, which program that you are participating in. These students are very diverse, so coming from different socioeconomic, racial, ethnic, and geographic backgrounds. So as I mentioned, this is the learning journey that we follow. So the first is collective. So as I just stated, students, there'll be 10 to 16, or some might even be 18 students in your group. So this is a group travel. So you will be, with different students across the US, and our programs are open to international students as well. So you may find yourself, in a group with someone that's from a completely different country other than the one that you are from. It is also immersive. So we really want you to, deep dive into the culture, the food, the language, really understanding like that local context. So through that, you'll be visiting like historical and cultural sites. There'll be some learning goals that we want you guys to obtain at the end of the program as well. So really immersing yourself in the program. So for example, our Italy program, focuses on culinary training and the culture as well. So students are in a restaurant cooking with a chef, making Italian meals, etc. So really that immersion piece and that hands-on experience, which leads me into the next part about experiential. So we want you to really experience being in the program country. We want you to reflect on what you are learning, analyzing it, and then applying it, to your own homes, your neighborhoods, school, etc. So really getting that learning by doing, that hands-on experience, through engagement with like your host community, different organizations, your peers, and all the other activities and excursions as well. And then last but definitely not least, the learning journey is supportive. So it starts with, you obtaining information about the programs, and then also me assisting you with your application, all the way through to your return home, the group flights, your group leaders being present to be, a support for you while you are in country. And then our team as well is on call 24/7 when you all are traveling. So that's another, supportive measure there as well. So as I mentioned, group leaders in the previous slide. So all of our experimenters will be traveling with 2 group leaders from the US to the program country. So these are, trained, experienced teachers and professionals. Some of them are guidance counselors, principals, social workers, etc. So individuals that, really have a passion and a love for youth exchange, and they really want to do this, really want to do this work. They are responsible for student health, safety, and well-being as well. And they are very well versed in the collective learning and experiential education model that we just touched on. And your group leaders are responsible for program logistics and travel support. So they are there, for you in terms of everything that you might need on the ground. We will say this so often. They are your first point of contact for everything. If you are feeling unwell, whether that's physically, mentally, if there's just something you need help with, definitely reach out to your group leaders, definitely let them know and connect with them because they are right there on the ground with you. All of our programs have a homestay component. So the homestay is a very central component to our programs and has been since the 1930s. So as I mentioned, all of our programs have a homestay. So the duration of your homestay varies depending on the program. So it can be between a few days to 3 weeks. So again, going back to that mention of the program, sample itinerary, definitely want to take a look at those. It gives you a little bit more insight into how long your homestay might be. You'll be participating in the daily life of a local community. So whatever it is that your host family is participating in, you'll be joining them. So if they have like, activities that they do, or maybe someone in the host family's having a birthday or any something like that, you'll participate. Like our France program, for example, during the month that students are there, they have Bastille Day. So often our students are with their host families, engaging in Bastille Day or as a collective, as a group. The full group, including your leaders, participate in the homestay, and you all will be in the same region or town, so you won't be too far away from one another. You'll still be getting together for group get-togethers, meetings, cultural activities. So you will see, your group members at certain points during the homestay experience as well. And our homestay families go through a very extensive recruitment and vetting process. Most of them have been hosting with us for many years, so they know what to expect. They know what our, policies are. They know what our risk management policies are. They know the do's and don'ts of everything, but they still do go through, that vetting and recruitment and a training as well before our experimenters arrive in country. So this is just a little bit about, the program focus, what, you can do in terms of programming. So this gives you a great opportunity to explore like a future major or a career. Maybe you know what you want to do when you get older, maybe you don't. So, this is an opportunity for you to explore that. It also allows you to gain some very valuable experiences and skills. At the end of the program, we really hope our participants have like, more sense of independence, time management skills, being able to connect with different people from various backgrounds, etc. So there's a ton of different skills that, these programs allow you to gain and get you ready for the next phase in your life, whatever that may be for you. Also, a great opportunity to earn college credit, as I mentioned, again, with our Ghana program, that is a wonderful opportunity to give you that, step ahead, and a great chance to engage with local experts and deepen your understanding of critical global issues as well. So as I mentioned, when I was speaking a bit about the group leaders in terms of, connecting with them if you're not feeling well for any reason, your health and safety is definitely, important to us. It is our number one priority. So the experiment takes a 360-degree approach, which focuses on the mental and physical well-being of our participants. We want to know if you're not doing well for one reason or another. So definitely, again, let your group leaders know. We do provide insurance coverage for accidents, illnesses, emergency evacuations while on program, should anything like that arise. Of course, definitely still keep your insurance that you have, in your respective neighborhoods, whatever insurance you have, but we also have supplemental insurance as well. We have a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on call support while students are on programming. So if, your family needs to reach out to us, if you, the experimenter, need to reach out to us for any reason at all, definitely do so. We will provide the on-call support number at a later time during like our pre-departure orientations, etc. We partner with GeoBlue for their expert guidance, so they provide us information about local clinics, hospitals, anything that we should need, while experimenters are on program. And we also have in-country local support. So the experiment partners with different people in the respective program countries, and they work with us to plan our programmings, etc. So we have an in-country team, homestay coordinator, and some of our programs also have like guides that travel with our groups or like an in-country co-leader as well. So we have tons of in-country local support. And then of course your experiment group leaders. So what are the next steps? What can you expect in terms of applying for the program? So there is an online application and there will be an interview as well. So for the online application, you will provide student, parent, guardian information. So like the basics, name, phone number, email address, your address, things like that. And then there are short written responses. I believe there's about 5 or 6 questions for students to answer. And then there is a homestay letter and photos. So definitely follow the prompts for the homestay letter. We tell you exactly, how you can start the letter, and please attach the photo directly to the letter. So that's part of the application as well. All experimenters are required to have a letter of reference, and this should be from a teacher, an advisor, guidance counselor, etc. Someone that could really speak to, you as an individual, and someone that, knows you well. If you are interested in the Ghana program, because it is a college credit program, we do require your high school transcript as well, so we will need a copy of that. And of course, this is an international program. You will be traveling overseas, so you must have a valid passport. All passports must be valid through February of 2027. So that is February 28th, 2027. So if you do have a passport, you want to make sure that you check that to ensure that, it is valid all the way through. If, your passport does expire before that time, you will have to renew it. And if you don't have a passport, definitely, try to work on that as soon as you are able to. And there will be an interview as well for all participants, for experimenters and applicants. There will be an interview. Alrighty, so this is one of the key points in the application process. Very, very important to your application. Um, all of our scholarship students receive like a fee waiver from the experiment because they are part of like a mentoring organization or a sponsoring organization or a sending school. So when you are filling out your application, this is what it looks like on the website. Like this is exactly what it looks like. So it'll ask you, were you nominated to apply by your sponsoring organization, mentoring organization, or sending high school? You want to make sure that you select yes. And then you want to make sure you go to the drop down and select World Affairs Council of Pittsburgh. This will let us know that you are with the council, and then your application will be in the appropriate applicant pool. This also waives the $200 application fee and the $500 non-refundable enrollment deposit. So again, you want to make sure that you select yes and you choose World Affairs Council of Pittsburgh. If you're going through your application and you see this little payment tab, if it's present and you see that is asking you to make a payment, that is because something is amiss at the very beginning. So you want to go back and fix it. Just click yes, World Affairs Council. If for one reason or another you go through the whole process, you end up paying the application fee or the deposit, definitely reach out to me so we can get that fixed for you. But again, this is very important. And then as you can see, the next piece asks you to enter 3 programs that you would like to participate in. This is in no way, shape, or form a ranking. So you're not selecting like your first choice, second choice, third choice. You're selecting 3 programs overall that you are super interested in and would be okay being placed in any of these 3 programs. So you want to make sure that, again, you're visiting the website, reading the program descriptions, looking at the sample itinerary, checking out some of those videos, so you're selecting programs that you are thoroughly interested in participating in. This is just a quick overview of, the costs, of programs and what's included in the cost of programs. So on our website, you can definitely take a look and it'll show you what, the program fees are and what the international flights cost. So this is just giving you an idea of what's included in those things. So the program fee includes like your meals, lodging, program activities, your in-country transportation, health insurance, and college credit on selected programs. What's not included is your spending money, the cost for your passport, the international travel, and the domestic airfare that you may need. So depending on where your program is flying out of, you may need a domestic flight to the gateway airport, and then you'll be traveling with your group and your group leaders to the program country. The application is due January 15th, so you definitely want to get started. I know that, there's a couple breaks coming up, so definitely want to get started, as soon as you are able to on your application. Of course, we know that traveling can be, it's fun, it's great, it's all those wonderful things, but it can definitely be a nerve-wracking experience for our experimenters and for our families as well. So we do have experimenter alumni and parent ambassadors who are ready and willing, to connect with our potential students and families. So if you'll go on our website, there is going to be an apply tab. If you hover over it, it'll say contact the former experimenter, and this page will pop up. You can choose like a parent ambassador or a participant ambassador and select the program countries that you're interested in, and it will populate a list of all of our parent and alumni ambassadors. You can, and then you select the contact, this individual, fill out the form, and they will get it and are, ready and willing to share their experiences, answer any questions you might have, etc. But of course, you can definitely always reach out to me as well. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us at info@experiment.org, and I'm more than willing, to answer any questions that you may have. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great holiday season.